Hans-Dietrich Genscher will be remembered as the father of the Liberals, the architect of reunification, and Germany's enduring foreign minister.
And for more on Germany's influential former foreign minister, let me draw in our political correspondent, Charlotte Potts. Charlotte, how do you assess Genscher's significance in German politics?
Yeah, he really played a huge role in German politics. He's known as one of the grand politicians here after the Second World War, both as interior minister first and then as foreign minister. He really was a man of grand gestures. So as interior ministry, the Munich Olympics happened in the 70s here, and the Palestinians took some Israeli sportsmen hostage. Genscher offered himself in exchange for those Israeli hostages. That never happened, but certainly a grand gesture. And as foreign minister, his style was really perceived as, or called shuttle diplomacy, because he was traveling so much and he really believed in the art of diplomacy. There is a story that two Lufthansa jets would meet in the middle of the Atlantic, and Genscher was on both of them. And then, of course, as we just saw, the most significant event for sure in his career, the most famous one, was at the embassy in Prague, where he let those people come to West Germany that were there. So a man of grand gestures, but also a man who valued diplomacy very highly, who worked towards a common goal in politics, who spoke to friends and foes alike, and really believed that that compromise was the best solution.
Now, even after 33 years of politics, when he withdrew from active politics, as we heard in our report, he still remained very much in the public eye, didn't he?
He did indeed. We just heard that in the report with the release of Khodorkovsky. But he also was invited to every possible event surrounding the German reunification. He met with Gorbachev several times. The two of them were very close, naturally so, having worked on the reunification together. And I think he's still very known and very respected by many politicians here, because he was not only bipartisan but multi-partisan in his goal settings, and so I'm sure the political Berlin is very sad today.
Right. Charlotte Potts at our parliamentary studios, thank you very much for that. Turning now to other news, and North Korea has reportedly launched another short-range missile into the sea. That just hours after the US and China agreed to work together. Our political correspondent, Charlotte Potts, is with me in the studio. Welcome, Charlotte. How do you assess the significance of Hans-Dietrich Genscher in German politics?
Genscher was really one of the grand politicians here in Germany after the Second World War, both as interior minister and then later on as foreign minister. He was really a man of grand gestures. So as interior minister, the Munich Olympics happened in the 70s, and Palestinians took Israelis hostage there. He offered himself as exchange for those Israeli hostages. That didn't happen in the end, but certainly really a grand gesture. And then later on, as foreign minister, he was known for his shuttle diplomacy, because he was traveling so much. He was stressing how important diplomacy, especially during the times of Cold War, were between East and West. And because he was traveling so much, the story goes actually that two Lufthansa planes would meet in the middle of the ocean, and Genscher was in both of them. And as we just saw, of course, the Prague moment, where he opened the doors for the people to come to West Germany. So he was a really diplomatic person who wanted to talk to his friends and foes alike, who stressed diplomacy, and that was his the significance and the style of his politics, really.
He was in politics for 33 years, but even when he withdrew from active politics, he was very much in the public eye, wasn't he, as we saw in our report?
Yeah, and interestingly so, his approval ratings were extremely high when he was in office, but even more so when he left office. So he stayed very engaged. There were many, he was seen at every reunification event and especially when Gorbachev came to Germany, he would always be joined by Genscher. The two of them were very close naturally. They had worked on the reunification together. So he remained very, very active and really an outspoken voice on German politics. He supported Angela Merkel's refugee policy, and in one of his last interviews, he actually said that Germany should not be fearing being taken over by Islam, that European values were strong, and that Angela Merkel was right on that.
Now, of course, tributes are pouring in for him from everywhere and all sides. Give us a sense of what people are saying.
Yeah, his own party, the Liberal FDP, they've been saying it's one of the greatest sadnesses, of course. And the German government has the spokesperson of Angela Merkel. They've been saying that Genscher was a person to pull the right strings at the right time here in Germany. So I think he will be remembered here in political Berlin by all as a really great statesman. Right, Charlotte Potts, thank you very much for that. And of course, if you want to hear more about Hans-Dietrich Genscher, you can go to our website, that's dw.com. Turning now to other news, and North Korea has reportedly launched another short-range missile into the sea. That just hours after the US and China agreed to work together